Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode where the top software developer, Vladimir, he jumped on a call with me to discuss exactly how to solve the problem of going directly from a sale to service delivery. A lot of us don't know this, but we are losing customers because we're not doing this step. And in this call, he's going to show us exactly which step is missing and how we can get you $5,000 more per client per deal. All right, watch the episode, leave a comment below.
Okay, so hello everyone again. My name is Vlad. I'm the CTO of Salespot AI, the agency that automates businesses with artificial intelligence. And today I will tell you what is our flow of communication with the client, how to understand what script in the conversation that the client needs, because we faced with an issue that sometimes you receive several messages from several people from the company, and you need some commitment of everyone and some agreement what will we do. And preferably, if you don't do it by yourself, and what we personally do is that we just give a template of our bot flow to our customers. They fill blocks on the diagram with with steps. What is the steps of communication? But we just give a template. So that's how you can save a lot of time and energy from communication with the customer.
That's
and
amazing.
The purpose of this diagram is to describe briefly what is the purpose of the bot, what is the main features, what is the knowledge database, AI resources, where does the bot gets information to answer questions, and also what is the main stage of the conversation. So this is example for a real estate agency from Dubai, and they faced with the problem that they receive hundreds of incoming inquiries every day, 24/7, in several languages. Like as I told, like in the middle of the night, some Japanese businessman can write in Japanese language, how can I buy a property in Dubai? And this bot can process human natural languages without any buttons, because people don't like linear, like fast age bots. Everyone hates it, and they try to switch to the manager. And what is the main feature? Why we even position our product not as a bot, but as an agent with integration to CRM. So this bot extracts CRM fields on any stage of conversation and detect the current stage of the chat. Yes, and support 100 languages as ChatGPT does.
Can I ask you,
as ChatGPT?
So before we continue on here, I just want to kind of go over the scope of this project that we're doing. I approached Vladimir with a customer. This customer has wanted to build a bot that can receive different requests. And Vladimir is now showing us the entire scope of what he's doing for his Dubai agency. And I really appreciate you for doing that. This is what I have not seen on the market, especially on the YouTube videos. Most people just go directly making the bot. They would test it. I have seen a lot of bots. I have tested a lot of bots, and some of them don't work. They have hallucinations. This way, what Vladimir is saying, you use this diagram, show how the flow of the conversation work with the customers. If they like it, they agree with it, they sign off on it, then Vladimir can go and build his bot, and he is able to bring the product up to speed without going back and forth too many times with the agency itself. This shortens the time of communication. This eliminates the risk of you building a bot that doesn't work, with the customers getting disappointed at your services and not using your services. This is just ingenious. And Vlad, before we go to the flow, would you mind just kind of going over with us the resources and, you know, the objectives so that the audience are on the same page?
Can you rephrase? What do you mean?
What I mean is, if you take a look at the right-hand corner, you have the resources for
Resources.
yeah, that's right. All these resources. Just simply go over that and just go over the objectives and the problems that this bot is solving. This way, the audience knows exactly what this bot is all about and how this architectural plan of the bot can be developed.
Yeah. So resources
Mm-hmm.
actually is very important part of our agreement with the client, because the
Right.
more resources you have, the higher price you can set. I mean, the more time it takes to develop it properly.
Yeah.
So what do we have? We have a
You have
company
knowledge base.
website.
Mhm.
Yeah, knowledge base. Yeah, it's I mean, the manner how we vectorize it is the same how you can find in any YouTube video about how to make your bot on BotPress. But it's better to make like specify it in your agreement with the customer. So basically, we use all this diagram as an agreement with the customer, and it's much easier to understand than paper documents, because it's in a visual way. So they provided us a website and some PDF how to make a good investment in property in Dubai, and a YouTube lecture with their colleague from their company. And they also provided a history from previous clients. And it's very interesting part of knowledge base, because it can save a lot of time, and it also give you a good standard of responses, how your bot should act in every situation. So that's quite common. This is a common part. I mean, every bot has a knowledge database, even a QA bot, everybody have it. But
What is the
is more
field
interesting
descriptions?
is yes, CRM fields description. You
Oh,
know
I see.
CRM.
I know CRM. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So every customer in this agency has a card in CRM system, and what operator their agent usually do, realtor agent, they spend time to ask the same questions again and again and again. What is your goal of buying a property? Because it actually helps to give better advices. If someone buys a property to live by himself, or if he wants to resell it in 1 year and make some money profit, or maybe he wants to make a long-term rental out agreement, it all affects which variants more suit to him. And what do we, so it is, I mean, we also face this problem that if you just give one prompt to all your bot, then it cannot handle several stages of communication flows. So what did we do? We detect on which stage of the conversation are we right now, and then if current task, and then we determine what is the current task. And if the current task is to learn more about the customer, then we have this table. So if our task is to fill the customer card, and we see the bot sees that goal is not set, it sees the description of the field that the person who buying the property. It has an example of the question, what question can I ask to the customer, and it has some examples of valid values. For example, someone can refuse this question, and it also, I mean, usually your clients wants the bot to not stuck on the same question, because we had the case that it just cannot let you go if you don't reply on the budget. It can ask 10 times, what is your budget? What is your budget? I need some range just to give you, but yeah, it's just silly and stupid.
Yeah, I see. I've done that before. How do you avoid that then? How do you get not stuck on a certain question?
Yeah, so my idea, maybe we can do prompt engineering video for the next time. But basically, yeah, I specify that if person gives you clear refusal, just set the refusal. If person don't reply on your question but say something meaningless, or maybe just ask another question about your company, you reply on this question, on this message, and then retry to say this question to the bot. But if a person denies to reply 2 times in a row, then just keep it. Quite easy.
Cool. Straightforward.
Yeah. And it also takes some responsibility from your development team. Just you can give this table to your client and ask, just please write everything by your own.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. Also
Property
for
list.
real estate agents, yeah, very important to have good information from the customer about products, because what was the problem we faced with? The problem was that first they didn't provide enough information. They just gave the name of the property, the square meters, approximate price, and very short description. And it's very boring to end customers to read from the bot. They didn't feel interest in discussing this property. So after we asked sales department of real estate agency to give us more information and to take some pictures of property. Pictures is very important. Everybody likes pictures. It affects your emotion. After this step, the conversion of the bot increased 2 times, and it also much more interesting to discuss like full description, interesting description with the bot than just some, how to say it, like rational numbers or square meters. Nobody likes. Yeah.
Cool.
And also, I forgot to note that we also asked real estate agency to give some recommendations how to make a good sell. You know that like sales is a whole year, yeah, and they have books and courses, etc.
Right.
Yeah. So we just started to provide this like helpers how to better, yeah, based from the study book of sales manager. But it's interesting approach, so you can actually refine, like improve the quality of your responses with actual study book, educational book about sales, if you provide it to the knowledge base, because in the context of sales, ChatGPT will be able to extract necessary advices from this book.
Interesting. Can I ask you something? Just on this question itself. I came from a sales background, and you're saying that you can input, for example, in real estate, top sales book would be Ryan Serhant's Ways to Sell. You can include that book in the external information or database. The ChatGPT would take information from that book, extract the best selling techniques, and it will respond based on that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So in the context of some conversation with a client, it's able to extract some advices from this book and apply it in the current conversation. As the real person who passed this educational course.
Interesting. Wow. So you
I mean,
technically
it's not rocket science, of course. Like you don't need to only use the company website for
right.
your instructions. You can also use actual books for sales. Yeah.
See, this stuff always blows my mind. This stuff always blows my mind. Like, I thought that
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I just want to continue. Sorry. Just
Oh,
yeah.
at first I thought
Sorry for
that you probably just have to get ChatGPT to respond. I don't know what the large language model ChatGPT is trained in, but now you're saying you can train the large language model with top salespeople. Let's say if you find whoever you think is the best salesperson on the planet, for example, like Alex Hermosi, and you can put all of his documented materials, YouTube videos, books into the database, and you can extract information from that so he can literally sell for you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's what I say, but we don't do what is it? Learning of the model. We use ChatGPT. Currently, we use API of ChatGPT, and
That's right.
we control its behavior by extraction from books. Yeah.
Amazing.
Also, interesting approach is to use Cloudy too. It's it's another version of large language model. It also has API, but I really like its ability to process context of 100,000 tokens. So you can just give it the book without think about anything. You can just give it the whole book, and it will be able to process it without vector databases, etc. So what is our R&D department doing right now is that try to make a combination from Cloudy and ChatGPT. So Cloudy gives based on large text sources, it makes some small summary, and then ChatGPT processes it because it's better making the end result for the customer.
Wow, amazing. Wow. I think that will be game-changing and life-changing right here. Cool. All right, let's move on to the next part of this process then.
Yeah, or maybe we can just wait until ChatGPT 5 or 6 and all this problem will be solved, because we actually spent a lot of time trying to make a good friendship between different neural networks. I told right that we have a separate neural network to analyze CRM fields, to analyze the current stage of the conversation, to make queries to the database. It called multi-agent approach.
Right.
But maybe it will be solved with future versions of neural networks, which will be able to handle multiple tasks at once. But until then, yeah, we can improve significantly the quality of bot behavior by using multiple agents for every logical step of processing the message.
You're stacking up the IQ of the bot by using multi-agents.
It depends on your definition of IQ, but yeah, roughly speaking, yes.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Let's move on to the next part of the flowchart, which is the actual flow.
Just to finish, we also have external info from currency API, because sometimes people want to see prices in euro or USD, but in Dubai they have their own currency. And yeah, as an example, we can also take some weather. I don't know. I mean, you can use some live sources of information in your bot as well. Okay, now the most important part.
Yeah, the most important.
It's important to specify from which sources of messages the bot will receive messages. And for this client, we support WhatsApp, Facebook, and Telegram. SMS and email is just an example. It's not currently working for real estate agency, but okay, never mind. So everything started when someone sent the first message to the bot, and the bot responds, "Hello, I'm assistant of blah 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 blah." This message can also be prepared from your customer, because
Mhm.
we have all variety. Sometimes people want customer to not understand that they are speaking with artificial intelligence,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
they want to make an, yeah, sometimes vice versa, like super smart artificial intelligence is ready to help you. Yeah, it's better to ask the customer. Then we have several variations of his intention. The first intention is objection or questions about the company. For example, someone wants to ask, do you have a license as a real estate agency? And bot goes to sources and act as a usual Q&A bot. But also, speaking about the prompt engineering, we always ask the client, what is the target action of the bot? How will we calculate wait, what is the name? Conversion. How should we calculate conversion? And
Oh,
for this
conversion.
bot,
Got it.
the target conversion, yeah. We have two target actions. First, someone needs to select a property, and from this stage, we send a notification to the chat, to the separate chat with a human manager. And the second target action is the actual booking of viewing with the manager through Calendly. And why did I mention this is because after replying on this question about the license, bot in his prompt needs a specific instruction to push the conversation forward the target action. For example, after this reply, our bot usually responds with, do you want to discuss available properties in Dubai to make more money? Something like that. So in the end of every response, bot should act proactively and push the conversation to the target. If someone says that, okay, I want to buy a house, then bot, to make a good recommendations of property variants, needs some information from this table, from fields. And if bot check the CRM fields and see that the goal or budget or preferences are not set, it start to ask, what is your goal? What is your budget? What is your preferences? But what I like in our approach of multi-agent processing is that on any stage of the conversation, sometimes people from the first message, they can say, hello, my name is Vladimir. I want to buy property for $1 million in the center of Dubai. And it already gives a lot of information to the bot, and the agent who is responsible for extracting CRM fields from the first message already fills this card of the customer. This is very useful.
That's actually
User-friendly.
very useful.
Yeah. And what I like in our approach that really like 80% of customers, they don't understand that they are speaking with artificial intelligence bot.
Yeah.
Okay, after we gather all necessary information from the customer, we can make a query to find properties by preferences. And good thing here is that we have access to SQL database of the client, and ChatGPT can actually write SQL and fetch like 30 variants. And on these 30 variants, we run additional processing of ChatGPT. So like sometimes you cannot specify in your in your SQL query things like, I don't know, like good for investments, because you cannot specify it in numbers or column values. So what we do to process some custom preferences, Actually, it's not a good example. Maybe, okay, I want something with like I really need kindergarten to be in 500 meters from my house, and there is no such column, the distance to the nearest kindergarten. But this information we can extract from a description, and description is written by sales department of real estate, and it can be processed by LLM.
Can I ask you,
So what? Yeah.
let's say if a person says, I'm looking for this house, you find this house, 123 Broadway, for example. If they want to know if there's a coffee shop around it, would you be able to plug in a Google Map API that would give them exactly that information?
We can, for sure, but we don't have it yet. If some from our clients want it, yeah, definitely we can add it. Like I played, did you play around with Auto GPT?
Alt
Do you
GPT.
know what is Auto GPT? Auto GPT is the
Oh,
GPT
yes.
with
Yes.
access to your laptop. Yeah. It can browse, it can surf internet
Yeah.
and read files on your laptop. So it also works with multi-agent approach. There is some manager neural network, and it can specify tasks for agents, like agent of browser searcher. Please go to Google Maps and write this query. So it all like it's a technical task for development a proper agent.
Okay.
Yeah. I also played around with it like a week ago with Auto GPT. Interesting thing, but it's interesting toy. But I understand that to make it work stable, you need a lot of efforts. So that's why our company, we are focused on some like specific business pain to solve it perfectly, and then go to more advanced AI technologies.
Yeah, I agree. Solving the hallucinations and getting the exact prompt engineer to give the exact prompts would be the most difficult thing here.
Yeah. We can actually make us, I told, we can make a next podcast about prompt engineering and avoiding hallucination, because there are several approaches and we combine all of them.
Yeah, great. I think that would
Okay,
be good. Okay, let's go on. Let's move on.
Yeah. So after bot fetched the database for good variants, it show it to the customer, and if someone don't like any of them, the bot asks to modify the request and maybe change preferences, and then it returns to the previous and query database again. It's also the same way how human manager would handle this situation. In case if he likes some variants, if the customer likes some variants, or in case if someone go to the bot knowing in advance, like you understand, right, that people go to this bot from the website of the real estate agency, or maybe from some advertisement, and sometimes they already know in advance some property variant that they want to view, and someone may say from the beginning that, hello, I want to book a viewing of I don't know, Marriott apartment. And in this case, bot make a message that you can book a viewing by this link, and just send Calendly link, very easy. And after this action, you also make a notification to chat manager. He moves the card of the customer in CRM system, and also he prepare a summary of the whole conversation and send it also to the card of the customer. So manager doesn't need to read all conversation. He can check 2 paragraphs, like several sentences, with a summary of the whole conversation and continue to have a talk with the customer. Yeah, that's it.
Amazing. That's pretty cool. Okay. Essentially, this bot takes a customer from a few intentions, either booking an appointment, asking for more information, and they take the customer information, if it's not there, put into CRM, and the customer can ask more questions, and eventually leading to the capture or the conversion from a stranger to a lead for the real estate agency, or it actually creates an appointment.
Yeah, and also what you should understand is that we have a separate neural network which detects on which stage are we currently right now, because sometimes people can skip some stage and go straight to another. That's why the whole detection of the stage is another task for GPT. And we have like JSON with description of every stage, and we provide it to ChatGPT.
Can you expand on
It's
that?
not. Huh?
Can you expand on what you mean by being able to recognize different stages of the conversation?
Yeah, we have actually Python file, and in this Python file, we have a function get bot step. In this get bot step, we describe every stage of the conversation. For example, is it a greeting, first greeting? If it's a first greeting, then the current task of the bot is to also say hello and give a short introduction of the company to the customer. If the current stage is processing an objection, and objection, what is objection? You need to specify. Objection is some questions about company or maybe some handling, like someone may say you are fraud, you are scam. The bot should understand it as an objection. We give some examples. In this case, you need to take the answer from your database and reply. Also, we have a stage of gathering, filling customer card in CRM. On this stage, bot needs to check are all fields filled properly or not. If some field is not, yeah. So every stage which I can describe to some real person, I can also describe it in a similar way to ChatGPT. And if special neural network engineer it in a way that you are smart detector of conversation flow step, you have possible steps. I mean, the whole communication flow with the customer is this: greeting, objection, questions, filling CRM fields, discussion of property variants, discussion how can I book a viewing with a manager. Your task is to detect what is the stage of the conversation which I will give you below, and you send the whole conversation history to the bot. And this bot will give different replies based on the current conversation stage. This is like beautiful because people are really flexible in the way they communicate with the bot. That's make the difference with linear bots. Because to be honest, all the script could be done with a like past ages linear bots approach that you have several buttons. First button, do you have a question? Second button, do you want to select a property? Third button, do you want to to book a viewing? But it's it's not natural way of communication. So
Absolutely.
that's why instead of this button, yeah, you understand.
It's highly not intuitive to have multiple buttons and to have a linear flow of conversation. the way that you're doing it with multi-agent, where it recognizes the phases of the conversation, loops it back to some parts of the conversation through the recognition of languages. This is incredible. This is a generative AI that almost simulates a real conversation of a human being, where the people that are chatting with the bot, they don't feel like they're chatting with the bot. They feel like they're chatting with a junior staff member. This is a real way to solve the problem. The funny thing is, over the weekend, I was using Zapier. I had some issues with it. I went on their chat. It keep on having a linear conversation, multiple buttons asking me, hey, what are you looking for? Is it the billing? Is it the technical problems? Are you having problems with this? It took me 15 minutes to get hyper annoyed by their bot. No offense, Zapier, your bot sucks. It leads me back to a FAQ page, and from the FAQ page, you keep on asking me questions. Oh, did I answer your question? Did this FAQ do it? It's a very old and traditional way of seeking information or sourcing information, where with a technology company like that, they can use multi-agent method. They can answer all of my questions. What I ended up doing was messaging in the bot. Agent, I need to speak to an agent. I need to speak to somebody. I need to speak to a technical person. I keep on rephrasing that until it went to an end, saying, okay, contact this, click on this page to contact a technical person. I click on it, it gave me more buttons, not intuitive, and it just annoyed the hell out of me. That's what I don't want in the flow of conversation for a chatbot. I think what you're doing is overcoming that problem.
Yeah, that's why I was inspired. I mean, it also looks not like a rocket science, but it looks doable and very helpful for businesses. You can just gather your team and just do it, because every part of this problem we share with you right now during this podcast.
Absolutely. Great.
All right, so I hope you found something here that is useful and that you can incorporate into your systems and your structures so that you can create a wireframe model for your customers, get them to sign on the dotted line, and you will never lose customers again. They'll be so happy and so satisfied with your service delivery because they have already given you everything up front. Now, take this example. Take what you learned today, apply it to your business, apply it to your next sale so that you can close more deals. And that's what I'm here for. And that's why Vladimir is here for. So again, leave a comment below, like this video. And if you have any comments or whatever you want to see in the next episode, make sure you drop a message. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a good day.